Hello, in this short lesson we're going to learn a little bit about the nmap program. Nmap is a free utility that you can download at nmap.org, and what it does is it allows you to scan a system to locate open ports. It has a lot of features in it. For example, it could try to figure out what operating system the target is running, or just what ports are open, what ports are closed. You can scan one computer, you can scan a list of computers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of look at nmap. On their webpage, you can also get their reference guide, which is really good information explaining the nmap commands and the different options that you have, along with the legal notices that are required. All right, so I already have nmap installed on my system, and this is a Windows system, but I will mention that nmap is a command that has ported from Linux. And if you are familiar with the Linux operating system, the one thing you're going to notice is that Linux is case sensitive. So if I wanted to use the nmap command and get help in Linux, it's -H. But watch what happens if I put a capital H. It's not going to work. So you remember, case sensitivity will matter when using nmap from the command prompt. So I go nmap space -h, enter. I'm going to get a listing of all the different nmap options that I could actually run. Those of you who are not Linux users, the difference between a dash and a dash is if you're using words. For example, if I wanted to do this help command with the word help, I would go -- help, and I'll get the same information. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually run an nmap command, but this took quite some time, so I'm going to just cheat a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to run an nmap command on a particular device. Okay, so we're going to put in the target. And by default, nmap does what's called a syn stealth command. And that means that the syn command is going to be pushed out, and this will create a half open connection because it's never going to respond if there is a syn ACK. On the response, it will never respond and close the three-way handshake with the ACK. But for taking this short of time, I'm going to scan just one port on this particular target. So I'm going to go -P for port, and I'm going to choose port 22, which we know is for SSH. And I'm going to enter. It tells me the version of nmap that I'm running, and you can see that the host is up, so that means it did find the IP address, and that the state of that particular port is open, so that means that I could get into that computer through that open port. It also locates the MAC address of the open port. Let's try with another one. Let's try port 23. And this time the port is going to be down, so you'll see what happens. In this case, you're going to see a closed. And what happens in this situation is there's actually what's called a RST command, a reset, when it's not going to bother to say I'm open or closed. It's going to say, no, sorry, not available. Now, what's very interesting is I'm going to show you how this works with Wireshark. So I'm going to bring my Wireshark over here. I'm going to go ahead and start the capture, and I already have it filtered for this target that I've been working with. And I'm going to continue without saving. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to scan a range of ports. I'm going to scan ports 20 through 25. And I'm going to let that scan. It won't take that long. And I'm going to come back over here to Wireshark, and I'm going to stop my capture. I'm going to sort it by destination. And if you look right here, make this a little bit bigger, you're going to be able to see, and right here, here's the SYNs. It randomized the numbers, what port 23, 21, 22, 25, 20, and 24. You can see that every port was scanned. You can see that it was the SYN. Again, that is the size of the packet. So it's under the 1500 bytes that most Ethernet packets are. And I can just open this up by just double clicking it. And you can just see the same basic information here as well. There's nothing in here that says it's an nmap scan. No real data is sent, but all that is sent is the SYN, and it's looking for a response back. Now, to show you what I was talking about with the closed ports, notice that the only open port on here was 22. So that means 20, 21, 23, 24, 25 should have sent a message back saying, sorry, we're not open. So if we go back to our Wireshark capture, and you can see right here, here's port 20 sending a message back with the RST, which is basically saying reset, not available, and of course it's going to respond with the ACK. 22 responded back with a SYN-ACK saying, yes, I'm here. But again, all these in red were all the closed ports. So you can see very easily that these ports right through here were closed. So these could be some clues if you're looking for nmap scanning on your network, somebody doing a port scan on your network. Now, one of the other options that you can do with nmap, and by the way, you do need to run this as an administrator. If I add in the option, I'm just going to pick one port, dash capital letter O, not 0, but capital letter O, that is going to try to do an operating system detection. So basically it's going to send some other information, and it's going to ask, hey, can I identify the operating system from this request? In this case, it did not find, yes, it did find that it was running a Linux-based operating system, and a little bit about the kernel that it's running, and it's one hop away. So that's some information that you could actually get out of the nmap with the O for operating system. And again, lots of different options on here. There is a corresponding program that's a graphical in nature that installs with nmap, and it's called ZenMap, and it would give you a graphical look. But for today, our lesson was to learn how to do nmap port scanning from the command prompt and actually see that port scanning occur in live data by looking at a protocol analyzer such as Wireshark. Hope that helps.